He'll have a little bit of a Texas accent, do you think? And I don't know, some days I like to wear really, really high heels. So watch out. Good morning. Welcome you to the 2013-2014 school year. I hope that you've had a restful and relaxing, rejuvenating summer. It's been a fast one, hasn't it? It's been a fast one. Well, I will tell you, I am so excited to be your superintendent. It's a thrill of a lifetime to be associated with such an outstanding, world-renowned, nationally renowned school system. I'm really honored. I want to first thank the Fairfax County School Board, who have been introduced already, for this opportunity, for their faith in me. Our 12 board members are collectively and individually about serving children first and foremost, and to continuing to provide the leadership for making our division the very best it can be. That's the kind of board we want to have leading our organization. Would you agree? Also, I want to take this opportunity to thank Chairman Moon. He actually had a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Chairman Moon. We'd be singing happy birthday, but I'm not so good at that. Just for the record. Again, I want to thank all the elected officials who joined us today. We are so grateful for your service to our community and for your support of our schools. It is so essential and important. Also, I'm just delighted to have Dr. Swain here today. It's a real honor to meet him. I was telling him earlier that he is an icon in this community, and it's well deserved. In fact, I'll tell you some stories about Dr. Swain a little bit later that I've read about. So I look forward to getting to that. I've been paying attention, sir. I have been paying attention. And Dr. Salzberg, we look forward to your presentation today. We look forward to learning from you. I was telling him earlier that you're all here to hear him. So we look forward to that. As leaders, you know how important it is to have a supportive and encouraging family. I would like to introduce you to my #1 supporter and encourager, my best friend, my wonderful husband, Lewis. Lewis, if you please stand. I'm sure many of you can relate. There's so many things that would not be possible in my life if it were not for him, so I'm very, very grateful. We have a great combined family. Some of you may relate to that as well. We have 4 children. One of whom is a high school AP teacher and football soccer coach from our Consolidated School District. He will be starting his 3rd year this coming year. Just talked with him a long time last night. They've already started football practice and all that. But it's been really rejuvenating to again see education through the eyes of a novice teacher. Because sometimes we forget, don't we? So it's really, really been a joy to watch him and his career and that whole experience. And how important it is to have support. Thankfully, he's in a school system and in a school that provides him wonderful support. And so he's being very successful. We also have 5 beautiful grandchildren. But the really sad thing is, I wanted to show you some pictures of them today. But there's some in some box that we haven't quite unpacked yet. So all the electronic versions of pictures, I promise you we have pictures. And you have to believe me that they're beautiful, because they are, because I can't show you. And the really sad thing is, the other member of our family I do have a picture of, and that's our wonderful, very gifted dog. See Marty? Isn't he cute? Now Marty, where's Marty? My dog's cute, gotta be cuter than your dog. Marty and I like to share dog stories, so Terry said hers is cuter, but, you know, I disagree. But anyway, it's great to have a dog, because don't they, when you come home, doesn't matter what kind of day you have, you should see him. He acts like I'm the greatest thing ever. It's great therapy. Unconditional love. Everybody needs a little of that. I am part of the FCPS class of 2013, and I know there are about 200 others in this room that are part of this class. And so I'd like to recognize our new leaders in our organization, some new to the position and some new to our organization. With the class of 2013, please stand. There's about 200 of them strong. Please stand, class of 2013. That there's this unique hazing experience that we're all going to enjoy shortly toward the end of the program. What has been planned for me, I will admit right now, is slightly embarrassing, but I just want you to know I'm trying to be a good sport. So you'll see that I can be a good sport, but I understand the embarrassment part of this. Black box experience is kind of part of the design, right? It's designed to be a little embarrassing. Okay, so but we're up to a class of 2013. Sincerely, I am so grateful and really humbled to be here today to be a part of Fairfax County Public Schools. I've spent the last 2 months learning about the system, and I want to say also that Liz and I are very, very grateful for the very warm welcome that we've received. It's been really wonderful when you move across the country, thousands of miles, and you really feel like, very quickly, this feels nice, this feels home, this feels like putting on a familiar jacket. And so I want to tell you, thank you for that. As I was saying, I've spent the last 2 months learning about the division, and I still have a lot more to learn. In these past 2 months, I've met with principals, assistant principals, teachers, community members, board members, leadership team, and I continue to be so impressed with the quality of professionals and the degree of commitment to students that is so evident with everyone I talk with and with everything I see. I've also had the opportunity to interact with a number of our students. The intelligence and the overall talent of our students is impressive, just like the students that we were able to enjoy this morning from Madison High School and Fairfax High School. We've enjoyed having Will on our school board and getting to know him from TJ. Our young people in Fairfax County are exceptional. And you know, occasionally you run across a skeptic about the future. You ever been around those grumpy people like that? Well, all they need to do is spend some time with young people in Fairfax. I will take the future's very bright. The future's very bright. I'd also like to take just a moment to acknowledge the untimely loss of a member of this family, this team that's in this room, and that's Cliff Hardison, the principal at West Potomac High School. He will be greatly missed. I want to especially thank the members of the leadership team. They've all been introduced already. I've enjoyed getting to know them. They have been very patient with me. They've already started to learn that one of my favorite questions is why. Y'all like that question? They actually roasted me when I left Lubbock, and that was part of the theme of the roasting, was this constant question of why. But I do like to ask why. I hope we all have that intellectual curiosity to ask why. But they've been very, very patient. Without exception, they are a gifted group of educators and leaders. They are committed to FCPS and the students with whom we are responsible. We share a dedication to always doing what's best for children, and we will be a great team, I have no doubt. I also want to thank Chris Donahue, who poked her head out here just a minute ago, Sue Kirkbride, Annie Meyer, and Pam Goddard. My goodness, what a patient group to help me navigate the system and learn. I appreciate their support. You know, I do very much understand that there's always trepidation when you have a new leader. It's just like getting a new principal to a school, right? Everybody's worried, oh my gosh, what are they going to do? And especially in this circumstance, because oh my goodness, she's a woman. Interesting how rumors can be, you know. And so anyway, I heard through the grapevine that I was going to institute a new dress code policy. Yeah. And y'all love this. The rumor was that I was going to began requiring pantyhose and closed-toed shoes for everyone. And I have to be honest, I thought about it shortly, and I thought about it for a little while, I thought, well, that would be a good idea. But then I asked Mark Merrill and Dan Terrace, I said, well, what do you think about this? They didn't think the guys would go for it. Anyway, we decided not to do that. Then I understood there was another little rumor floating around that I was going to start a new dance class at Gatehouse for the fitness center. We're going to all learn the two-step. But Jeff Plettenberg told me that sawdust and peanuts were not allowed on our floor. So we decided not to do that. But the real truth is this. I don't know how to two-step. Don't tell anybody. I don't think I even have the cowboy boots. Although I like shoes, and maybe that's something I need to buy. I need some cowboy boots. I don't have a hat, cowboy hat. And no, I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. And that's the question I've been asked the very most. Can you believe that? It's not been your theory for change, your theory for improvement, your philosophy of education. It's, are you a Dallas Cowboy fan? So, no. You've heard me say I like RG3. So, I've even had some socks like RG3. It was naked to see those at some point in the future. But I'm also certain that, there have been probably other rumors, but probably it's a good thing I've not heard what those are. It's like, there's times when you just get, it's better not to know. Can you relate to that? Okay, it's better not to know. I will tell you though, I've also gotten some advice from people. And for those of you, particularly those new to your job, new to your position, and maybe those of you that have new, recent past, you know how it is when you move to a new position. People like to give you advice, don't they? You ever experienced that? Sometimes they give you advice when you don't want it. But I've been asking for advice. I've been asking people what they think, what I should be doing, what they want from their superintendent. And I've received some advice from some people in this room as well as from students and teachers. Let's see what kind of counsel I get from the Jay Leno type of FCPS man on the street.
Welcome, Dr. Garza. My advice to you is get to know us, develop very strong relationships with the kids, the students, the teachers, and with our administrators. This is a great family. You're going to enjoy working with us.
Don't forget to listen to and value all the opinions of the students.
Don't ever, at any time, for any reason, read anything on the Fairfax Underground.
No matter what kind of decisions you make about staffing, funding, or curriculum, none of it will draw as much public attention as if you decide to take chocolate milk out of the classroom. Which is true what it is. I really like chocolate milk.
My advice would be to come out and support some of the many great arts programs we have in Fairfax County. And I'll give you front row tickets if you come to my show.
Hi, Dr. Garza, and welcome to Fairfax County Public Schools. We are excited to hear about your track record of working with all students and supporting their learning needs. One piece of advice I can offer you is to really take time to get to know your stakeholders, the faculty and staff of Fairfax County Public Schools from Karen Garza. It's very, very important that people know who you are through your eyes and not the eyes of others. Good luck.
I hope that you superintend to do a good job.
Good stuff, right? How'd you like that superintendent part at the end? I like that. Underground Press, I did make a mistake of reading that one time. I won't do that again. Scary stuff. I was also happy to gain some insights, valuable insight, from the very wise lessons learned from your former superintendent, Dr. Jack Dale. And by the way, we're so thrilled that he's doing well and making a very speedy recovery. I know that Dr. Dale shared with you at this a year ago, this conference last year, some things that he's learned from being the superintendent for the last 9 years. I understand that we have something called the Fairfax Way. And in fact, I I believe he put it something like this: we're not happy unless we create the Fairfax solution. Does that ring a bell? Yeah. I'm very mindful of the tremendous history of excellence that exists here. I'm learning about this history, and I've even read The Education Empire, the evolution of an excellent suburban school system. Have you ever read this book? Interesting book. Dr. Sublime, this is where I'm learning a lot about you. And what you did, and all the great things you did. I have very, very big shoes to fill for my predecessors, there's no doubt. So yes, this is a book about Fairfax County Public Schools, and I think there's another excerpt coming soon. But I do recognize the amazing, amazing work taking place here in Fairfax, so I applaud you for the Fairfax Way. The Fairfax Way has served this community and its young people so very well for many years. Congratulations. You should be very proud of this division and the fingerprints, the footprints, your handprints on this work. We must also strive, though, to strike a balance between honoring the wonderful history that exists in our division with the need as an organization to contemplate what could be. What could be? Even the greatest systems, it is necessary to embrace the notion of continuous improvement. How can we get better? No doubt the current state of FCPS is strong, so I think we're in a unique and wonderful position to ask the question and ask ourselves, what can be? What can be? Like many of you in this room, I love school, and I find that probably a lot of educators love school. That's why they became educators, right? Love school. In fact, I can tell you the names of lots of my teachers. I'll tell you a few. I had Mrs. Bell, she was my 3rd grade teacher. Mrs. Sappington was my 4th grade teacher. And then I had this lovely teacher, one of my favorite of all times. Her name, believe it or not, her name was Mrs. Bubbles. She was a high school biology teacher. Isn't that a great name to have, Mrs. Bubbles? And she was about like her name. You know, she was about like her name. She loved science. Her classes were interesting and fun. She loved science, so guess what? We all love science too. She was a great teacher. And I had the occasion to see her later in my career, and it was just really, really great to see her and tell her what a difference she made in my life. I had many inspiring educators who made a positive difference in my life. My point is this: I had great teachers, I bet you did too, and where I am today is due in large part to them. Don't all children deserve the same? All children deserve the same, okay? I believe so strongly in the power and promise of public schools. We have the talent, we have the expertise right here in FCPS to solve the most pressing issues facing public schools in the nation. We're uniquely situated, I think, in that way, to solve these problems. We have the potential to show the nation, and really the world, that public schools can work for all students. We can design a system of schools where all students are served equally well, where all students are well prepared for college or the workforce, where all children are well prepared for life. Now, we do have challenges ahead. Jim Collins says in his book, most of you in the room have read, Good to Great, organizations, in order to become great, have to confront the brutal realities. So do we have some brutal realities? Yes, we do. We have achievement gaps, and we are challenged with having every student graduate on time with their age-appropriate peers. These are some of the most important issues facing our division and other school systems across the country. I intend to build upon the good work that's been done in Fairfax County Public Schools to address these gaps. And I intend to be personally involved in supporting our schools with the greatest need. This will be a priority of mine, a priority I know that we all share. We have other challenges with increasing expectations for the system, but with diminishing resources available to respond. And that battle we fight with increasing expectations and struggling to find the resources we need to support our schools and our classrooms. And we're challenged with having adequate resources to respond effectively to our continued growth. We have been growing by 139 classrooms every year and have been for the last 7 years. Did you know that? 139 classrooms per year and have for the last 7 years. This school year, we will have 990 temporary buildings all throughout our system. This is a pressing and important need, an important issue where we'll need the involvement and the support of this entire community. It's very essential. And yes, we are challenged with teacher workload and fatigue. Have you heard about that? And I would imagine there are times that you have felt very fatigued this past year. We know that. We're listening to you. We've already announced some changes that we are hopeful will provide you some relief. Along with that, the leadership team has created new systems and structures for managing change and for protecting the system, that's you, our school leaders and our teachers, from too many competing demands. We own that, and we will do our very best to let you do the work that you need to do and that you do so well. Service to schools, service to you is our primary goal. We must be accountable and responsive to you. To help ensure that we are in touch with these challenges, demands on our school leaders, demands on our schools, and demands on our classrooms, I, along with other members of the leadership team, will be out in our schools every week visiting you, learning about your schools and your school community, and I look forward to learning walks with you at your school. And in fact, I was going to bring my journal. I'll carry around a journal that I'll keep notes in all year long because I learned so much when I'm in the school. So I look forward to that. Here in Fairfax County Public Schools, we will confront and we will overcome all the challenges ahead. And we will need everyone in this room. Every leader in this auditorium is a part of the solution. But we will not be defined by our challenges. We will be defined by our ability to overcome and achieve and continue to be the best school division in the United States and one of the best in the world in preparing our students, all students, for success. Again, I believe that we are uniquely positioned. We have the talent, we have the expertise to solve the most pressing national issues facing public schools today. So what's ahead the coming year? We just completed a superintendent and school board retreat. We spent some quality time together thinking about this next year. And let me tell you some of the things that we're going to be doing this next year that I'm very excited about. The first of these priorities is that we intend to develop a long-range strategic plan. This plan will be developed this school year, and it will be based upon the great work that's been done around the student achievement goals that already exist in our system. This plan will be developed using feedback and input from stakeholders, and it will serve to chart our course for the future and to keep our system focused on high-leverage priorities. I anticipate that a piece of this work will include the creation of a Fairfax County Portrait of a Graduate. What are our hopes, dreams, aspirations for our graduates? What do we want our graduates to know and be able to do? It is with the Portrait of a Graduate that we have the opportunity to demonstrate connections with important work that's been done in this division, such as the work around 21st century skills, which I'm real excited about how we can build that in. Especially, I find in large systems, symbols like a Portrait of a Graduate really help people see how things are connected and really bring meaning to the work. And engaging in a strategic plan together, the development of that will help us, no doubt, design, dream, and deliver for all of our children. The second goal is to create structures and systems to ensure that we are responsive and accountable to our stakeholders, and you are an essential stakeholder. You know, sometimes large systems are unfriendly and difficult to navigate. We have to fight against this. We have to guard against a system of schools and have to work diligently toward being a strong school system where we have a defined unity of purpose. Do you feel at your school that you're an island? Being a strong division, I believe, requires us to demonstrate connected independence. You ever heard that term before? Connected independence. And I liken this to the redwood forest. Some of you may have seen the redwood forest and how the trees grow to like 300 feet high, 300 yards high. They're huge. May not know this, but their root system is very shallow. The root system only goes down 6 feet. So any individual tree standing alone would never survive. But as you know, the redwood forest has been around countless hundreds of years. And what's unique about it is the root system, while it doesn't go down deep, it spreads out like 900 feet in all different directions. And it connects to the root systems of the other trees. And so then the trees combined together create a strength that is impossible to overcome. It makes them very, very strong. They thrive because of this, because of their connection together. In Fairfax County Public Schools, we must strive to be strong together. We must connect ourselves by our root systems. Doesn't mean we all have to be the same. We can be different, but we need to feel connected to a larger system. We must strive to be strong together, each school, each department, each individual connected together, making us strong, but independent. I asked earlier, do you feel your school is an island? Our goal of being responsive and accountable to stakeholders, this would also include a most important stakeholder, our students. Do you have students that feel alone? I ask you to contemplate this question. Does every student in your school have a relationship with at least one caring adult? John Hattie, in his book, Visible Learning, which if you haven't read, it's a fascinating study. He did, we have lots of research in education, don't we? Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of it. What he did is a very interesting meta-analysis. He took all the research and he collected it, and he identified from this analysis 138 factors that were the most important factors to really improve student learning. He found that developing strong relationships with students was one of the most significant. In fact, the effect size was 0.77, which is more than a year and a half worth of growth. So I know that many of you are working on this. I ask that you make it a priority. It will pay big dividends for your school, for increasing student achievement, for improving student overall well-being, which is so important, and for developing and strengthening school culture. Our third priority this year is to develop new systems for measuring teaching and learning. Do you think there are better ways to measure teaching and learning than the way we're doing it today? Do you? Let me hear from you. Do you think there's better ways? This is a national conversation. We took a really good thing, and that is holding us accountable for measuring progress and the growth of students by measuring and testing. We're taking a really good thing. We've gone way too far with it, haven't we? As a school board and leadership team, we believe that there are better ways to measure teaching and learning, ways that are better than the SOLs that we currently have. We want to lead the national discussion around creating new and better ways for measuring student learning, ways that don't take the joy out of learning, and really the joy out of teaching for many of our educators. Stay tuned. But I know I probably still haven't answered to your satisfaction, who is this Karen Garza lady? Well, you'll learn over time that I'm actually a fairly predictable leader. I'm fairly constant. There are things that are value propositions for me that I use and I make decisions about. And so many years ago, I thought I needed to show you and tell you some more things that would help you know what I value so that you could get to know me better. Well, many years ago, I read somewhere these leadership lessons, and they resonated with me, so I try to lead with these in mind. I'm going to share them with you today so you can have some insight on how I think, but I also hope they resonate with you. They have really served me well throughout my career. So these are the essential elements of leadership. And by the way, I carry these around in a file with me. Number one is purpose. Be clear about purpose. My purpose, first and foremost, is to always do what is right for children. And if that is the founding principle, I find that I have the courage to do so many other things that sometimes are difficult if the right thing is best for children. Even the most difficult things. Number two, improve. Always be getting and doing better. Learn your craft and never settle for mediocrity. Be a learner. I know I will learn a lot from you. And I know that we'll learn a lot together in the coming years. Number three, observe. Frequently talk with people with whom you work. Really listen to them. And keep your eye on the business. For us, the business is teaching and learning. Because you can expect only that which you inspect. Number four, adapt. Conditions change. Competition grows. Uncertainty is the new normal. Stay fast, stay flexible, stay nimble. And someone told me one time, fail fast, learn faster. It's pretty good, isn't it? Number five, connect. Be good to people. Treat your students and your employees with respect and dignity. Give them your best. Be caring and responsive. You know, when I need to have a hard conversation with someone, do you know who I think about when I bring them in? Think about my son. Think about my daughter. And think about when their supervisor calls them in, how do I want them to be treated? Right? Number six, empower others. Meaningfully involve others in the work. Stephen Covey said many years ago that you cannot create commitment without involvement. It's very true, isn't it? And number seven is the final one. Be positive. As a leader, it's just like being a parent, right? As a leader, your team takes cues from you. Your actions, your words, your deeds will shape the culture of your organization and the culture of your school. Be an inspiration. Be the leader you would want to follow. As we begin this school year, I commit to do my very best to serve this division. I commit to serving you and your students. I will strive to be, as the student in the video said, I superintend to be the kind of leader that you would want to follow. I commit to you that I will always keep our students, our classrooms, and our schools first. Dr. Spillane, I will keep the main thing the main thing. Our frontline, our principals, our school-based leaders, our teachers, and our support employees. I commit to hearing and responding to your needs and your input. So as I would begin to close, I remember I was telling you I was actively soliciting advice. Well, I'm going to invite you to also give me the opportunity I invite you to continue to help me learn about Fairfax County Public Schools. We've actually created a special link on our division website. In fact, it's live right this minute. You can go on that website and you can submit your ideas, your input for what I need to know, maybe what we need to do to improve our system. So I hope that you will take the time to share your best ideas, your best thoughts about the future of our school system. This year, let's focus on the possibilities, the promise that exists in this division. Remember, instead of what is, let's ask ourselves, what can be? What can be? Let's fully realize the promise of the Fairfax County Public Schools. I believe that we have the opportunity, we have the ability, we have the will to serve all children equally well and to create solid, enduring results for all children. Again, I thank you for this opportunity to serve as your superintendent, and I look forward to the coming year. Thank you very much.